Awesome.
All right, hey everyone, I'm here with Chris, 50, who just came up to the Weights and Biases booth and started giving a bunch of feedback. I said, hey, let me just interview you. Chris, welcome. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you, Igor.
Could you tell me about yourself, your area of research, what do you do, kind of your work history, some stuff like that?
Definitely. Previously, I was a researcher at Google Brain for several years, and then I returned to academia. Now I'm a PhD at Stanford. Doing deep learning research for drug discovery, as well as meta learning.
That's awesome. So what kind of, you started already telling me, but I would love to hear some stuff that you use about Weights and Biases, some of your feedback. That would be super cool for us.
I guess since I'm a little older, like I've seen the whole pipeline. So I saw TensorBoard.
Yep.
All the tools we had internally at Google, and it's really cool to see like that natural evolution between, okay, maybe you can like print out like the different metrics you care about to visualizing them on TensorBoard, now to like a whole platform like Weights and Biases where everything is just like beautifully visualized. You can do hyperparameter searches. It seems to be like my all-in-one like plug and play paradigm for just like tuning the models, seeing like which models do better than others. And even like figuring out which ones you should actually sort of take further when you're actually sort of doing that research iteration. It just makes things so much easier.
That's awesome. Do you use reports at all?
I don't.
You don't?
I do the visualizations, I do the hyperparameter tuning. Maybe I've only been using it a year, but those suit my needs perfectly.
Reports is super cool. Reports is the feature where it's basically like a blog platform. You can use Markdown, you can do like table of contents for everything you do. And then you can add tables from your runs, like live tables, and when you share it with your teammates, they update live.
See,
on the fly.
I don't have teammates, so it's just like me working by myself.
All right.
I see the visualizations.
You can post it on social media.
I guess for a blog though,
for a blog.
I work on the blog.
Absolutely. So thanks for coming. I wanted one thing to ask you. You mentioned like the hyperparameter search, the different methods. Could you talk about those?
Yeah, grid search, random search, Bayesian optimization. Everyone has their own like favorite ways to do hyperparameter tuning. And especially like when you train these like massive models, you really only like hyperparameter tune for one epoch, 2 epochs. Just because they're so big, it's infeasible to tune them for so long. So basically having the capacity to reproduce research code, which also sort of follows these 3 different paradigms of random grid search, or random search, grid search, and then Bayesian optimization, it gives me a lot of confidence to basically say, okay, I'm ascribing to best research paradigms, or even if I'm just trying to like push the state of the art more. And even for my own personal projects where I use machine learning outside of my work for research, it's awesome to actually like drive that forward and like have confidence that like I don't need to set up Bayesian optimization. It works. I can just like say, here's the metric I care about, optimize for it, come back a week later, and I have a great model.
That's so great. And Weights and Biases gives you the freedom to kind of choose between all these and the best practices that like all these big companies also use. That's great. So thank you for coming up and giving us some feedback. What is one thing that you would like to improve? Like just off the top of your head, what's the, you use it every day, I think you said? What's like one piece of like feedback you can give us that's annoying to you that we can fix? Or we can tell our engineers to fix?
I guess like sometimes I see like a surprisingly good model that I didn't think would be surprisingly good. I wish like sometimes I could just like add a note to it other than like renaming it. Maybe there are tags. I guess I'm not like familiar enough.
We're getting voices behind the camera.
To see all the tags.
You can tag, you can add them to the model registry, you can like tag specific runs. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys already have it then.
We have a bunch of folks here who will teach you about like other stuff, even though you're one of the cooler users.
Naive user.
Naive user. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for your feedback.
Of course. Thank you, Igor.
Thank you so much.
Great platform.